and Production Center of Troy University's Broadcast and Digital Network and Troy campuses around the world. This is Troy TrojanVision Weekly.
Hello and welcome to Troy TrojanVision Weekly. We're glad you joined us for this look at what's happening in and around Troy University. I'm your host, Aaron Taylor. Well, as people around the country mourn the killing of 9 church members in South Carolina, the museum dedicated to the civil rights movement and its struggles is remembering those lost in the tragedy locally. Christy Henderson has the story.
On Friday, Troy University's Rosa Parks Museum and members of the Montgomery community placed a wreath in the lobby of the museum in honor of those killed in the shooting at the Emmanuel AME Church in Charleston, South Carolina. It was Parks' connection to the church that led to the placement of the wreath in the museum named in her honor.
Mrs. Parks was a longtime member of the AME Church. She was a deaconess in the church, which is the highest level of achievement for a woman, a lay woman in the church. So she achieved that level of respect. So we certainly wanted to extend our condolences to the families of the victims at Emmanuel AME Church and to the community of Charleston, South Carolina, and to our country.
Bell says that the museum plans on using this incident to help educate the community.
This senseless act of violence is something that we want to address directly here at this museum as part of our new vision. We want to address racism and hate and terrorism, which is what it was. It's an act of terror against the Black community, against the community at large.
And community leaders hope that this gesture will help inspire others to work toward a better future.
The tragic, horrific incident took place in Charleston, South Carolina. It happened for a reason. And if no more, it caused us, and it causes us even now, to galvanize, to come together, and as the writer James says, give us an opportunity for each of us to examine him or herself.
We don't know what challenges we have ahead of us. Hopefully some of this will spark some of our young people who want to be leaders. You got to walk the walk.
Stray dogs in Troy will soon have a new place to stay until they find their forever home. A group dedicated to finding homes for strays in the area will soon have a new building to help with their cause. Once again, here's Christy Henderson.
The Troy Animal Rescue Project has evolved in a short amount of time. TARP, which was created in March 2014, rescues stray dogs from off the street in the city of Troy Pound. And what was once just a collective for volunteers now will have a facility to call home. They are currently in the process of renovating a building to help shelter and board dogs until they find their forever home.
We've actually been looking for this building for over a year now, and we thankfully have finally found one that meets all the parameters that the city and county wants, and so we're going to hopefully move in within the next month.
TARP will also provide a doggy daycare center where owners can drop off their pets for the day and also provide boarding facilities 7 days a week.
The boarding facility will pay the cost for the actual building. It'll pay the rent, the utilities, the stuff like that. TARP will be inside the building as an adoption center and boarding for our dogs for free. We won't pay anything to board or to TARP will have no expenses here.
TARP is always searching for volunteers and people wanting to get involved. Here's how you can help.
Contact Tiffany Howington and she can put them on a volunteer schedule. We'll certainly need volunteers once we get the building up and going. That you can, if you're interested in adopting, you can go to our website, troyanimalrescueproject.org, and fill out an adoption contract or foster contact information. And we'll get back with you.
And once again, if you're interested in volunteering or getting involved with the Troy Animal Rescue Project, you can visit their website at troyanimalrescueproject.org. The new facility will be located at 305 North 3 Knott Street in Troy. Well, summer's in full swing and leaving many young Pike County residents searching for some fun activities. Jordan Elston shows us one place that is offering a lot of summer fun.
The Boys and Girls Club of Pike County provides a safe place for children to hang out with friends while also keeping their minds sharp.
Well, the mission of the Boys and Girls Club is to enable all young people, especially those who need us most, to reach their full potential as productive, caring, and responsible citizens. So this Boys and Girls Club, like all Boys and Girls Clubs, that is the mission. That's what we set out to do each and every day. And right now we're in the middle of our summer program. So what that means, when parents are having to go and work all day, we are open to serve the children. For those who have completed kindergarten all the way through high school age, from 7:30 in the morning to 5:30 in the afternoon. And throughout the day we have programs and activities that fall right in line with what our mission states. And what we want, the outcome, the impact that we want for our children that we serve, is that we want them to be productive members in society. And that's what we're striving for every day.
One member shares her favorite part about the Boys and Girls Club.
I like to see my friends and the different trips we take and the different journeys we see each and every day.
And for anyone interested in becoming a member of the Boys and Girls Club?
Well, there's actually no application fee. There's just a $10 monthly fee there just for our services, as far as keeping snack around and things of that sort. But you would just come up here, talk to Mr. Buchanan or one of the staff, and get one of the application forms, and it's about 3 to 4 pages. Fill it out, and return it, and the process is pretty quick. So.
And once you are accepted into the Boys and Girls Club,
you have to know respect and be able to respect each other and keep your hands off of each other, because if you don't, there would be a big problem. But you still could come here and have fun. You just have to know respect, basically.
Jordan Elston, Troy, Trojan Vision News.
The Boys and Girls Club of Pike County is currently full for the summer program. However, they will begin taking new members in August. And all this month, the Johnson Center for the Arts is showing off the talents of 3 Troy University professors. Christy Henderson gives us a look at the exhibit.
The Johnson Center for the Arts is currently showing its newest exhibit, Art of Collaboration, A Joyous Exchange. The exhibit includes mixed media work by Troy art professor Pam Allen and a 13-piece collaboration project completed between writer Diane Orlovsky and multimedia artist Jerry Johnson.
In 2011, I wrote a series of meditations that explored issues of why I make music, what it is about music that is so magical and so effable, and it explored themes of memory and grief and loss and things that really intrigued me at the time. And so that's when I approached Jerry Johnson about illustrating those meditations. And as he explained, it grew into something so much larger.
One of the most interesting things about the show is the collaborative nature of it, because most artists don't really collaborate.
The Pike County artist also had a few works that are heavily inspired by Troy.
Now, some of my pieces are inspired by a local teenager here in town, a high school senior. She did some photography work, and actually we're using some of her pieces in my work as kind of the springboard for the artwork.
The one on the very end over there in the back, that's called Alabama. And it does have some imagery from Pike County, because that's where I live.
The artists all had some advice to give to anyone who is looking to take their art to a more professional level.
Get busy, paint, create, and make sure you enjoy what you're doing. Even though creative things like painting or any type of art is hard work, you have to love it.
The exhibit will continue to be on display now through July 25th. Christy Henderson, Troy, Trojan Vision News.
The Johnson Center for the Arts is located on Walnut Street in downtown Troy. It's open Wednesday through Friday from 10 to 5 and Saturdays from 10 to 3. Admission is free. And we'll take a short break, but when we return, we'll see how high schoolers learned about music from Troy University professors. Stay tuned, we'll be right back.
It's a beautiful day out here, sunny today with light breezes, giving way to clouds in the afternoon. We could see some light precipitation to moderate precipitation later on, followed by powerful storm-like conditions. 90 miles per hour winds are expected. Authorities are asking everyone, stay
This is Dr. Daniel Smith. He's an expert in domestic and international economics. But his proudest achievement is connecting with his students and helping them accomplish more than they ever thought possible. That's the warrior spirit, and it's alive and well at Troy University. Feel it at troy.edu/spirit.
Now back to Troy Trojan Vision News Weekly.
Well, what does it take to break into the music industry? Well, last weekend, some students got some knowledge on exactly what is necessary to try and make that big break. Victoria Sabinina has the story.
Until the end of time.
The Troy University John Long School of Music hosted the second annual Music Industry Camp last week. Mike Check is an educational experience for high schoolers who want to pursue their career in the music industry.
Mike Check is one of those very few experiences in the United States where students can come and immerse themselves over a couple of days in the music and entertainment industry.
Really important. Whenever I was in high school, I had no idea that anything like this was happening, and I was writing songs in my bedroom, for 2 or 3 years. So if I would have known that I would have had opportunities like this, it would have been really cool. So
I went last year, and I had so much fun, and I learned so much, and I just wanted to grow in my music, and so I decided to come here.
Not only a camp is a unique event, but the Troy University School of Music is special itself. As the mic check took place on campus, the participants could become familiar with the university and professors.
Troy is very unique. We are one of the very few universities in America that has a music industry program. In higher education in America, there are a little over 700 schools of music, but only about 60 to 65 have a music industry program. And so Troy makes us very unique, particularly in our region. So if you're interested in the music and entertainment industry, come to Troy.
Vocal performance, instrumental performance, sound design for film, audio engineering, and songwriting. All these workshops were available for the participants of the camp. Moreover, there were several special guests who shared their knowledge with students.
We had a music marketing and PR person, Brittany Wilkerson, came down from Nashville, and she works in Nashville with a lot of major artists, so she came down and spent an hour with them. We also had Bob Bullock, one of our world's greatest audio engineers, that actually Skyped in with him from his studio in Nashville, and so they got a chance to talk to him.
On Saturday, the talent show took place, where the participants of the camp could demonstrate what they've learned. Victoria Sabinina, Troy, Trojan Vision News.
Over 500 students from around the state attended the summer band camp hosted by the Sound of the South last week. The camp wrapped up with a showcase of all of what the campers learned. Samantha Kokan gives us a look.
All this week, the Sound of the South hosted a summer music and leadership camp for students in grades 7 through 12. This camp was designed to enhance students' experiences in their own band programs back home.
What we do is we hire out alumni, distinguished people or persons in their field to come in and sort of work on foundations and basics, and then we'll work through different skill groups from beginner, intermediate up to advanced, and people that are looking to continue into college. And our point is to make their bands better when they get back in the fall semester.
The camp was broken down into the following groups: concert band, percussion, majorette, color guard, drum major, and dance line. Each camp provided specific and professional instruction to each student.
Well, they have essentially class during the day, and at night, starting on Monday, we have an evening activity. Like the first night this year was a movie night in Crosby Theater. Second night's usually a dance, and then the last night has usually been like a talent show or a sort of the Band Olympics, which is sort of like a field event in the stadium.
And at the end of camp, the Sound of the South hosted a show and award ceremony for the students to showcase what they had learned.
Today we're having our cumulative performance for our summer leadership camp, and groups that will perform will be the concert band, drum line, drum major, color guard, and majorettes and dancers. So this is a culmination of everything that we're working on this week, and sort of a showcase performance. And the directors, extended family, and high school staff are here to see. So.
Throughout the summer, Troy University's incoming freshmen learn about their new college home at the Impact orientation sessions. However, during their first day at orientation, they're able to get an up-close look at the departments they plan to major in. Victoria Sabina gives us a look.
Very soon, the fall semester will start at Troy University, and to prepare freshmen for their four-year journey, the school hosts Impact. It's a new student orientation that shows all aspects of the college life.
We have a bunch of different workshops where the students get to go around, through browse sessions and see all the different campus departments, and they also get to see all the different clubs and organizations on campus and just really get familiar before they even come to Troy, so they kind of have an idea of what they want to do, what they want to get involved in.
On Monday, future Troy University students became familiar with the journalism department. They met professors, current students, learned about classes and clubs, and even got a chance to see the TV station with all its equipment.
Well, through Impact, this is a really just good opportunity for anyone who's interested in, broadcast journalism, communications, to come down to the department and just check it out, see if they're really interested, see if this is a great opportunity, and just kind of get familiar before school even starts.
The Troy University Journalism Department is well known for its professors and broad opportunities. The tour gave a closer look to show all the benefits, and freshmen shared their emotions afterwards.
They're a great journalism place, and they got an award, I think, this year for it, so that's how I heard about it, and then I think they'll prepare me well.
I got a good idea of what I was going to be involved in next year and through the next 4 years.
The final Impact session will be held on August 10th. Victoria Sabina, Troy, Trojan Vision News.
It's time for our last break, but when we return, we'll learn how young cheerleaders can learn from the Trojan cheerleading squad later this summer. Stay tuned, we'll be right back.
The warrior spirit, it's in there. Always has been. Now let it out and take the world by fire. Train well and learn what it means to be a Troy Trojan. Walk with confidence, conquer, claim territory, and climb ladders. Know that you have the power to stand alone, but the comfort of knowing that you'll never have to. Discover your inner warrior. Find it at troy.edu/spirit.
Look at me. Hey.
Raymond, look at Mommy.
Maybe the light hurts his eyes.
Maybe she's just not hungry. Maybe he can't hear us. Maybe we're not stimulating him enough. Maybe it's a phase.
Avoiding eye contact is one early sign of autism. Learn the others today. The sooner it's diagnosed, the better.
Now back to Troy Trojan Vision News Weekly.
Later this summer, the Troy University cheerleaders will offer cheerleaders of all ages a chance to learn cheer skills from the Trojan squad. I found out how from the director of the Troy cheerleaders in this Trojan Talk. Hello and welcome to Trojan Talk. I'm your host, Aaron Taylor. We'll be talking about a cheerleading camp taking place this summer here at Troy University. My guests say cheerleading coach Tiffany Chandler. Tiffany, thanks for joining me here today.
Oh, thank you for having me. I'm excited.
And a cheerleading camp for, I guess, just the community to come and get involved and work with you and the cheerleading staff here at Troy University, right?
That's right. So we normally host one in September, and we try to keep that one for more of your older girls. Mm-hmm. So this year we wanted to implement something that involves the whole community, starting at 3 years old, and you can go all the way to 18. So we're excited to have that. We're going to split the girls up by age and talent, and then they're going to get to work with all of the Troy University cheerleaders as well.
And now the age range, obviously, I would think there's got to be some challenges in between doing what you do with 3-year-old and with an 18-year-old.
There are, but what's nice is when you have these elementary education major cheerleaders that are really, really good with your young ones, we have it set up so that the material is for certain age groups, and they won't be mixed together where any child feels uncomfortable or not on the same level, same maturity level, and things like that. So we'll have them split up into groups, and we'll have the university cheerleaders split up as well so that they're teaching material that is effective for all ages.
And of course, you talk about the Troy University cheerleaders are a part of this, and how do they factor into this being a part of? You said they're going to split up in groups, but having them involved, I guess it's got to be a good thing for you and for the community.
It is. First of all, it's really good for us. We compete at UCA Nationals in January, which is in Orlando, Florida, and we have to raise that money to go, and it's about $15,000 for us to go. So the camp is going to help fund our trip to Nationals with the money that the parents spend on their children as they come in for the camp. But it also teaches them life lessons, I feel like. They're ambassadors to the university already, but this is great for the community because we want them to spend time with the kids. We want them to play with them and have fun with them and teach them what it's like to grow in the Troy area and be a part of, our Trojan program. We want that to continue to grow as well.
And of course, we talked about the different age groups. Now, I would think that as you get a little bit older, you're dealing with a little bit more technical cheerleading and skills, that sort of stuff. So for the older kids, I would assume that you're getting some more things that they can use practically to take back for their high school programs.
Very much so, very much so. We like to do that with the older girls for two reasons. One, so that it betters them at their middle school or high school level. And two, we actually use it as a recruiting tool if they want to eventually cheer at the next level in college. Whether it's with Troy or a junior college or, a bigger Division I school, wherever, I feel like a lot of programs don't reach out to help these high school kids as much because in college, cheering is completely different than what it is at the high school level. So when we have these camps, we get the opportunity to teach them, let them experience it a little bit, and then make the choice if that's something they want to pursue or not.
And of course, the possibility of them coming to Troy, it's got to be there for you. You talk about going maybe some other places, but I would think that this is somewhere where you could actually look at a couple of these participants and say, hey, I want you to try to come to Troy and cheer for us.
Yes, very true. It saves me some time and some money as well with not having to travel so far to visit the kids. But if they can come here, for one, it shows me that they're interested and shows me that they're passionate about it. So I definitely like to reach out to some of these older talented ones that I feel would do very well in our program. And then we do have a little bit of scholarship that we can offer, and we try to get them connected with the right people in admissions to ask any questions if they have any concerns. So we can get all of that material to them in one weekend as well.
Pretty good. Now, if anyone out there is interested in participating in this, as you said, it's from 3 to 18. What can they do to register for this?
Okay, the registration forms are online. If you go to TroyTrojans.com, there's a fan zone button, which I feel like a lot of people get confused with on our website. Okay. Once you click on fan zone, you'll see cheerleading. Okay. It is the first story that pops up. All the registration forms are right there that you can print off. It gives you the amount. It's $55, cash or check, and then where to send the forms. You can also reach me. I have my Troy cell phone, which is 334-372-5550, or feel free to shoot me an email at troy.cheerleading@gmail.com.
All right, and when is the camp taking place?
It's taking place July 31st and August 1st. So it'll be the evening of the 31st and then the morning of the 1st, and then at lunchtime we will actually do a little extravaganza where the kids can perform for their parents and friends.
Get a chance to show off what they learned that weekend. So, well, thanks for joining today, and here's hoping you get some young cheerleaders taking part in the camp this year.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, thank you for joining us on today's edition of Trojan Talk. And that's what happened on the 4th week of June 2015. To find out what's happening throughout the week, you can tune in to Troy TrojanVision News at 5, 6:30, and 10:30 Monday through Friday, or anytime by following us on Twitter at Troy TV News. Also, feel free to like our Troy TrojanVision News fan page on Facebook to see links to online content from Troy TrojanVision News. We hope you join us again next week for another edition of Troy TrojanVision Weekly. I've been your host, Aaron Taylor. Have a good week.